it was organized for a while, and then
I'm so tired of hearing that. Common, I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of hearing that one. I hear that from all like the older guys. Yo, back in the day there was an organization, you know, back then. Bullshit. Yummy Sandifer happened when there was the organization. You had older dudes give a 14-year-old a gun, and even before he's 14-year-old, he's out here shooting people. Then you had some kids slightly older than him kill him. That's what happened when you had organization. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bolo, and I'm coming to you with another video for educational purposes only. Today I'm going to cover this segment where it's Common, rapping great, one of the legends straight out of Chicago. He's going to talk about drill music and the violence that surrounds it. And I'm going to give my 2 cents because we need to stop romanticizing and avoiding accountability and giving excuses for all the foul stuff that we've been doing for the past couple decades. Because it's never going to correct itself if we're even at the point where we can still have any kind of correction. But let's get into the clip.
Became very popular. The image of Chicago changed, right? Mm-hmm. And so what's your thought process as far as how Chicago's viewed? Because most of the time when you say Chicago, people be like, it's dangerous, stay away, why are you going there? It's just a very negative connotation from at least black people when they think about Chicago.
And the sad part is, and anyone that's on the internet in any capacity can attest to this, not only do we think that, but the people that are in these neighborhoods are proud of that. They're like, oh, you better not come here if you're not from here. You can't come to us. You better check in. You better do this. I literally have seen wars and comments of who's got a more dangerous city. And they poke fun at the cities that don't have rampant violence. When that's the mentality going in, how do you expect it to be any different? They're literally fighting each other verbally to see who can be more destructive.
yeah.
And then drill music has definitely played a part in that for sure. And so like, and drill has went over the world, London, New York, everybody's doing drill now. So what's your thoughts on?
And I'm gonna confess my hypocrisy to this point, where I actually indulge in the music. For my gym, I enjoy that ignorant ass music. I can't even lie. Now, it doesn't make me want to actually do these things, and I wish these kids didn't actually act out on any of this stuff, but the music hits, man. It slaps. I can't even lie.
Chicago's reputation as far as violence linked with drill music.
Well, I think drill music wouldn't have been able to come about if Chicago didn't have that type of angst and type of like, if parts of Chicago didn't have the violence that we have.
Agreed.
That was the expression of what Dirk, what Reese, what Chief Keef, man, they was, them dudes is from a really tough neighborhood, in one of the toughest neighborhoods in the world. And they was talking what they've been exposed to and what they know. And it's really powerful how, like, we as black people, and I say black and brown people really, but how we take some of the heaviest things, the most difficult situations, and make something golden out of it, because drill is they created a sound.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But we can also say a lot of this stuff is self-inflicted. A lot of this stuff did not have to happen. It was unnecessary, totally unnecessary. A lot of unfortunate things have kind of made this course the way it is, but you know.
And it's like influenced the world, and it's dope. But as you said, that it's other sides to Chicago that I feel like people don't know. And I mean, if you think about it, sometimes people got a tendency to come from the glass half empty mentality anyway. Like, oh, you hear that story, so it's just like you generalize that's what it is, that's all it is. And I can understand why you would think like, man, if that's what it is, I ain't going to visit that place. But once you touch down or just even open your mind, because there's other artists that express what Chicago is too.
That's true, but unfortunately these young ass kids, man, they don't discriminate. They gonna hit a lick, they're gonna do whatever they feel like they have to do to survive. Doesn't matter if you're a pedestrian, it doesn't matter if you're an out-of-towner, it doesn't matter. You can get targeted and got, okay? That's the unfortunate fact of the matter. So I don't care if there are other sides. I don't care. Because all I need is that side to find me once, and it could be over.
Early on,
Lupe was a version.
Chance,
No
Name.
That's
like,
a fact.
like
That's a fact.
they talk about it.
Shout out to Chance.
But like just different artists that talk about Chance showed a whole nother side of Chicago.
That's a fact.
That
Vic
and-
Mensa.
What'd you say?
Vic Mensa.
Vic.
Oh, Vic, yeah,
Vic's
Vic,
dope.
Vic.
But why is Chicago? Because there's a lot of cities that poverty is pretty much in every city, unfortunately, right? What makes Chicago so different as far as the violence? Like, why is the violence so heavy in Chicago as opposed to New York or
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just seems like Chicago is just really intense
Yeah.
in that violent aspect.
Well, I think like gang culture, and I know gangs exist everywhere,
Mhm.
but for us, like gang culture was part of our parents growing up. Like the gangs was
The thing about it is, like, gangs, at least throughout the United States, have been around since the 1800s. You can document this way back. I think the issue is with them in particular is that it's not about the financial gain anymore. It's death and destruction for the sake of death and destruction. Okay, it's not back in the day when you had, the mob and all these other organizations. Their ends was a financial one. So they would actually say, okay, yeah, they might not be our allies, but let's have a meeting, see if we can come to some sort of agreement so we can lessen the death toll, make more money, have less of us in prison. These kids don't give two shits about that. Their number one end goal is to destroy as many lives as possible, and they do not care what collateral damage is done. If a 4-year-old gets hit, oh well. If a woman gets hit, oh well. If an old man gets hit, not just oh well, they will laugh about it. There's videos of these kids, these young men, laughing about bystanders getting killed. That's the issue with this, is that it's death for the sake of death. Okay, you can't talk yourself out of that when that's the end goal.
existing in the 60s, right? So that warrior spirit has been like in our DNA. And I'm not saying that there's gangsters everywhere, but that being said, it was organized for a while. And then
I'm so tired of hearing that. Common, I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of hearing that one. I hear that from all like the older guys. Yo, back in the day there was an organization, back then. Bullshit. Yummy Sandifer happened when there was the organization. You had older dudes give a 14-year-old a gun, and even before he's 14-year-old, he's out here shooting people. Then you had some kids slightly older than him kill him. That's what happened when you had organization. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. Back when they had their projects, people were getting shot by snipers? Like this is Afghanistan or Vietnam or something, like snipers, bro? That's what happened when you had organization? I'm so tired of the leadership, the leadership. Leadership had crackheads running around in your neighborhoods doing all kind of stuff, poisoning the neighbor. That's what the organization did. Give me a break, man.
You know, certain people got incarcerated, and it was not a lot of leaders there to like guide those who were dealing with the gang culture.
And they displaced people when they tore the buildings down.
And they tore the buildings down, displaced people. But it essentially, you know, that warrior gang thing is ingrained in us, and that's part of like one of the elements that I would say is different from most. Because where's poverty, where's lack of jobs, where's lack of like education.
Stop with the lack of jobs nonsense too. I'm so tired of that, man. These kids don't want to work. They clown each other for having a job. His name was E-Day. That's his name. Rapper from Chicago, got killed, but he had a job where he was driving trucks, and he was getting ridiculed, not just from like the gang rivals, but regular people with jobs on the internet are ridiculing him. Like, oh, go drive your truck. It's not about the jobs. You could throw all the jobs you want. These kids don't want to work it. It's not fun. It's not getting them the girls. The girls are going with the gang bangers. The girls are getting impregnated by 2-3 of the gang bangers, the dope boys, the shooters. That's who's getting all the play. So the kid don't want to go to Walmart and work and be looked at as a lame. Who cares? It doesn't matter how many jobs you got if no one wants to work them. Okay? They don't invest in our communities. Yo, oh my goodness, there's no investment. And then when they put a store in your neighborhood, what happens? Rob it consistently. Either by shoplifting a lot of stuff or by gunpoint. Then they shut the place down. You want to be like, yo, there's no opportunity. Yo, they don't build nothing in our neighborhoods. You destroy everything. And then you don't want to help the authorities to get the people that are destroying the couple things that you do have in the neighborhood. You don't want to help them and say, yo, that gang over there, they're the ones that robbed the place at gunpoint. You want to sit there and be quiet until one of your kids get killed. Then your kid gets killed and you want to sit there and be like, oh, the cops ain't doing their job. They're not solving the murders. No one wants to help. There's no cameras. No one wants to say anything. And you want them to just pick people up off the street? Like, what do you want them to do? There's a lot of blame that has to go around. And I'm not sitting here saying cops are perfect. I already know they're not. But if I'm a cop, which is why I would never want to be one, I know I'm walking into a hostile environment. I'm walking into a place where they hate me. They might try to kill me. They're going to lie to me. How much effort am I really going to put into doing anything? Trying to keep it clean and all. I mean, maybe at the beginning, but that's only gonna go so long. At some point, I'm just gonna be like, man, F these people. Why would I sit here and help them when they don't want to help themselves?
And kind of overall lack of hope. You're gonna get that. Like, you can go to Brooklyn, you can go in certain places in Harlem or Atlanta, or like where you can go to these neighborhoods in Oakland.
Yeah, I'm tired of that too. Over here, especially in New York. I'm from New York, so I don't care. You're in Brooklyn, you're in Harlem. You are very close, okay, to places that are affluent, that you can get opportunities to look up and be a part of things that other places, like say like in the South where everything's a lot more spread out. Over here, you could be on the train rubbing shoulders with a millionaire you don't even know. This guy's in nice business suits. You rub shoulders with people, affluent people, all day, every day over here. But the problem is that these kids don't give a crap. There's hope. There's opportunity. There's the internet. But they don't want it. It's not fun to go study. When you see your friends smoking and drinking with a wad of cash and 2-3 girls, you know, coming at them, and you sitting there getting your little paycheck with no play. So it's like, I get that side of it too. You know, as a human species, we're very group-centered. We want to be a part of the group. Not everyone is built. Yeah, there's a couple exceptions where they can put their head down stay away from the crowd and do what they gotta do, but most people are not built like that. Most people want to feel a part of the group, and unfortunately, the group in these communities are just not going the right direction. Now, if there was a day where the gangbanger was ridiculed, shamed, shunned, and going to school and having a high grade would get you all the girls, and everyone would glorify you, things would change. Because now they would feel like, oh, I want to be a part of that. Oh, he's got a 3.5 GPA and all the girls are coming at him and everyone's telling him how great he is. I want to do that. But unfortunately, it's the opposite.
And you feel that what you feel in Chicago, but I think it's intensified just by the gang culture that has been there for a long time. And man, I always be thinking, like, one of my whole life missions has been to be a part of the peace in Chicago, like to really figure out, like, man, because I don't have all the answers, but I do know creating jobs, education, like education from a level, not just only in school, but providing people with ways to get to their dreams and stuff is important. And
bruh, during the pandemic, these people were taking out $20,000 PPP loans and splurging it. They were spending it all kinds of BS. Getting high, drunk, a new car. They had the pandemic was the perfect opportunity to do something. They basically were throwing money at people that applied. Did they do anything with it? They say, yo, let's get 10 of us to get these loans and let's go buy 2-3 buildings, 2-3 houses, fix it up, blah, blah, blah. No, none of that happened. So let's cut the BS. Let's stop romanticizing and giving these people a straw man to point at and say, no, it's their fault. It's them. It's because of no jobs. That's nonsense. There's jobs, there's opportunities, but unfortunately the people don't want them.
And just like hope, man, like hope is a broad thing, but it's like, I grew up, like my neighborhood ain't far from where Dirk and them grew up. My neighborhood, or where G Herbo and Bibby grew up. I grew up around some of the same stuff. But it was the hope that my mother instilled, that I saw for myself, that made me say, okay, I don't want to go too far over there. I might be around this. I might be back.
You were smarter. He is one of the exceptions that said, yeah, these are my friends. I know them. I grew up with them. But I know this is not where I'm supposed to be. Unfortunately, most people are not built like that. Most people are not lone wolves. They're not lone rangers. They are with the pack. They need to feel like they're with the pack. And if they feel alienated, they don't feel good.
You know, banging with these cats over here for a second, but man, I ain't really trying to shoot nobody. That's too much for me. Like, and that ain't what I'm on. So my point is, and that was because
But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Do you feel like if you put more jobs and gave them hope that all of a sudden things would change? Or do you feel like it's really a homegrown issue? The community's mentality needs to change. The man, the woman, everybody. And they need to raise their kids as a community with this kind of new mindset. I think that's the only way that this could change, if it ever can. Because to be quite honest, I think if I'm gonna be perfectly honest with myself, I think in a lot of these neighborhoods it's just too far gone. Like, the women are just terrible when it comes to their outlook, how they live their lives, dropping off their kids to mom and grandma every weekend, you know, getting high and getting more pregnant. Then they're raising these kids to be like the men that they're getting impregnated by, but they also don't like. It's it's a vicious circle that I don't think a lot of these neighborhoods are gonna get out of, but I am kind of, trying to be a little hopeful. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm out.